And we're rolling. If you watch gambling content on YouTube, slot channels, poker bloggers, sports betting creators, you probably have questions that never really get answered. Who are the people behind the channels? Why do some creators grow fast while others build smaller, loyal audiences? And what actually goes into creating gambling content that viewers usually don't see? If that's something you always wanted to, if that's something you're always curious about, well, you come to the right place. That's what this podcast is all about. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Gambling Content Insider Podcast. My name's Kevin. Welcome again. This is going to be our GCI first initial podcast of the year. Hope we have many, many more. And I just want to tell you just how exciting I am to really start doing this podcast for everybody. It's been something I've been thinking of doing for a long time. And I just can't wait to share many of the insider stuff that's going on in gambling with you guys. Let me give you a little bit about what this channel is going to be about. It's going to be about the gambling creator industry, the people making the gambling content, the Brian Christophers, the Vegas Mats, the Bluffs, the Ryan DePolo influencers, the ones that, start the YouTube channel and have everything, posted how they wanted, how it looks and everything like that. And we're going to talk about the pressures, how they get started, the loyalty, the fans that they watch and all that good stuff. We're going to get into everything with you guys. This show isn't about winning or losing. It's about understanding what's happening around the content while you're watching. So why I decided to put this channel together. I follow gambling content pretty closely, the slots, the table games, the poker, the sports betting. I actually have a video poker channel myself. But over time, what's really stood out to me weren't just the games. It was the gambling creator industry itself. How certain types of content take off. How creators change over time. How some channels chase growth, a new trend or something like that, while others build a smaller, loyal followers and stuff. So a lot of the questions the viewers have really aren't about gambling. It's like they like the wins, but it's also from people rooting for them to win big. And that's where this podcast comes in. This is going to be about connecting the dots, those dots, industry dots. So when I say gambling creator industry, I'm not talking about the one channel, the one style, or one style of content. Basically, I'm talking about the whole ecosystem, the creators, the platforms, the algorithms, the casinos, and the audiences, all influencing how the gambling, looks and feels. It's, I know people like the wins and losses, and content is king. Certain styles dominate. Obviously, people are starting to bet a lot bigger, and a lot of people watching them for those wins. But we're just trying to bring this out to show the environment, the understanding what they're creating. This podcast isn't not about judging creators. It's about understanding the environment they're in and creating in. So what we're also going to have on this podcast is we're going to have creators' perspectives. Not always traditional interview format, but sometimes we're going to do a lot of conversations where I'm going to ask creators. They might want to be anonymous. I'm going to ask them questions. Maybe we'll have interviews. So basically what we're going to do is going to have a lot of questions. Sometimes they'll be on the mic. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes we'll do some paraphrasing and asking them what they think about this and stuff. But we're going to get a lot of inside information on the industry. That's what I'm trying to do. That's basically, I want to get this stuff to you guys that you might not see just watching them gamble. We're just going to, like I said, it's going to be honest. Inside matters more than names. So over time, we'll also bring creators on directly. Oh, right. So over time, what I'm going to do is going to bring creators in directly. We're going to have interviews. We're going to but never for promotion or anything like that, but just behind the scenes, how they got started. What do they enjoy? What's their plans coming up? Those little inside information that you curiously don't know, that people don't know about them. They just see the channel. They might know a little bit about it, but they don't know how they got started. What made them decide to do a slot channel? What decide to do, video vlogs on poker. We're going to try to get into that stuff for you guys. And then, so just to be clear, this podcast will be talking about how gambling content is evolving. If it's sustainable. If it's growth, is it burnout? What's happening in the actual gambling content industry? We're not going to talk about. We're not going to talk about gambling strategies. We're not going to tell you how to bet. We're not going to tell you where to rank your favorite creators. We're not going to tell you who's getting more clicks than other people. We're not doing that. We're staying drama free, I guess you could say. The goal here is understanding. It's not outrage. And then I'm excited about this next part. What we're doing is we're going to do a one segment where we're going to have regularly on this podcast. We're going to call it Creator Check-In. This is where we'll let you know where all your favorite content creators are. This is about, it's not about promoting. It's not about promoting events or context, but what we're going to do is we'll let you know where they're showing up, if they're in an event, they're a meetup, the scheduled visits, all those little things. And for example, we have Sloticon coming up at the end of January. And that will bring a lot of the slot creators together. And I'm sure you guys are going to see a lot of, people getting together with collaborations and showing. It's in Foxwoods. So I'm going to go because I want to see a bunch of the content creators, but you're probably going to see a lot of collaborations. You're going to probably see a lot of shift in energy, a lot of people being excited, talking about Sloticon and having a good time. And, and I know they're doing a Q&A. So if that's something you guys are into, I know they could do a couple of those throughout the year. Definitely go check that out. But we're going to do that on our little creator check-in segment. We're going to let everybody know. And then what's coming up next? So in the next episodes, we're going to start digging into specific industry questions. So things like why gambling channels are betting bigger. Very popular. A lot of big channels are betting bigger. And then we're going to go into how creators think about growth versus sustainability. Are casinos squeezing, this is one of my favorites, are casinos squeezing the small-time content creators out? And what happens when content expectations keep escalating? Those conversations will include real creator perspectives, real experiences, and not just theory, not just what we're thinking. We're going to get, the inside information from those content creators to ask them what they're thinking about all these little things. I'm looking forward to. I know everyone is probably going to be looking forward to the big bets because we see a lot of content creators. That's what they're doing now. I'm kind of looking forward to this growth the squeezing of the small time content creators. These casinos aren't really letting the big time creators, the small time creators in. If you don't have a certain amount of followers, they're not letting you film. I don't know. I think that's kind of a little bit dicey, but they're casinos. They can do whatever they want. So if you guys enjoy gambling content and you want to understand a little bit insider information, the people and the decisions behind actually making the content, this podcast is for you. Just do me a favor. Make sure you subscribe. Leave a comment. If you're a content creator, definitely leave a comment. You want to talk about something anonymously or whatever it is, we'll hook up. We can figure something out. We can discuss and, leave a comment, like and subscribe, all that stuff. I'm so excited to get this, gambling content inside podcast going. It's going to be cool. I got a lot of good ideas for us and everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this little first one. This is first introductory, get to know you guys. And, thanks for watching. See you in the next episode.